Welcome back, penny pincher farmers. We're gonna move the cows on over. I've got the mineral trough behind me. I'm dragging it. And guys, this is a big day for these heifers. They've been in the lot that they're coming out of for quite a time now. So they don't know what to do. But guys, this is gonna give you a good look as these cows transfer from paddock to paddock right here. A good look at them, especially these heifers. That right there is not one of them. That's one of the cows that's got the baby calves that we retained, that we kept. She's a good one too. I ain't never seen a cow with such a good bag. But here's one of those heifers. She is a beaut. Look how big of a gut these heifers have on them. Look how big. Look how they just. I was talking to Alex at Sturgeon Creek the other day. I said they just look feminine. And that's what you want. That's what Greg Judy will tell you. He said, you want your heifers to look feminine. He said, you don't see anybody, he said, you don't see any men buying, marrying manly looking women. He said, you want them to look feminine. But I want you to look at a bull right there. Now there's nothing feminine about him. He goes to one of those cows that just walked by. He's a good outfit now. He looks like a bull, and these heifers behind him look like heifers. I like them. They are good outfits. But I am so impressed with the gut capacity. That's what I'm looking at, guys, is the gut. Just look at, they are so full on this grass. Sorry, 41, I disturbed you there. They are just taking to this grass like crazy, guys. And I've talked about it before. You go to a lot of these heifer sales, and I ain't putting off on them. I'm just telling you the reality of it. And if they was wanted to be truthful, they would have to agree. A lot of these heifer sales, you know, that's in the spring of the year, those are just feedlot cattle, guys. They are pretty. They don't come no prettier. But guys, you take a heifer that's been in the feed bunk for the last 6 months, and don't get me wrong, she's big. She meets all the vet's credentials. The pelvic size is just right to have a baby. She's at the right perfect age. All that stuff's fine and dandy, guys. But when you take a heifer out of the feed lot and you take her to your house and you turn her loose in your pasture, and you don't have the same bunk that feedlot had, and you're not pumping 5 to 10 pounds of grain in that heifer every day like she's used to, like she's had the last 6 months of her life, guys, what do you think is going to happen? I've heard so many people go to these heifer sales and buy, I mean, just fabulous looking animals, but they bring them home and they just don't produce. Because, guys, that's not the environment that they was raised up in. And so, guys, I say all that to say this. These heifers right here that we've got from Sturgeon Creek that's used to rotational grazing, and we've brought them into our rotational grazing system, and the only thing that they're getting is grass and mineral. That's the only thing they've ever got. Guys, what do you think's going to happen when they get mature enough physically and age-wise that when we turn a bull in them, guys, our conception rates, our breeding rates are going to be so much better because they're living in the same exact environment their entire lives. That's the same way with us, guys. If you turn us in, you know, as humans, if we're used to eating, you know, salad and grilled chicken every day, that's a pretty good balanced diet. If we eat that for 6 months and then all of a sudden you turn us over to double bacon cheeseburgers and french fries, we're going to feel like crap and we're not going to be very productive. So it's the same concept, guys, for their cattle, and specifically these heifers. So we're going to try to get these. We've done a lot of talking. We need to move the gap ends. We need to put the gap handles on this end instead of that end, because this happens every time. These heifers, or it don't matter, cows, heifers, turtles, it don't matter. They always get confused and come to this end because their compadres is right there. So we need to quit talking and do it. They'll probably come if I just get behind them. But that happens pretty regular. There they go. But guys, I told y'all that I had a surprise for you. And this is one of our heifers that one of those cows had. She is a dandy too. She's slicked off. She is nice. Watch her, she's trying to go over here to this corner again. If I can just convince her to go right there with the rest of these. Go on through there, girls. There you go. Got it. If I don't fall. But guys, we told you that, we showed you the black heifer that we have. That's from the first heifer we ever kept here on our farm. We showed you her calf. And guys, we are so happy to say that I think that the blonde heifer had her baby right as we was pulling in today. So right on Memorial Day, we're gonna have to call this baby Freedom. And this is the first time that this little baby's ever seen a human, so you're gonna get to experience that with us right now. So the closer we get, guys, the quieter I'm gonna get, not to disturb baby or mama. So you guys just come along for the ride with me. I'm gonna check it out. This baby's literally just a couple hours old. Just laid down. I'm gonna get around here, that way mama can see me coming. That way I don't surprise her. More than likely she'll try to stand up and go away from me, probably, but she might not. You never can tell about a first calf heifer. So I'm gonna try to keep my distance a little bit. She may be very protective. Always, if you can, guys, get opposite the calf and the mama. That way if the calf stands up to run, it's running to mama. Tell you what, it's a good size, small calf. Look right there, boys. Good job, mama. You did well. It's got its back facing us. There, it stood up a little bit. I believe it's got a white face. We'll get around here, kind of check mama out. How are you, mama? Mama looks good. And the calf, look at that calf, how he's colored up. He's got a white spot right on the tip of his head and a white pink nose, just like its mommy. That's unreal, guys. That is unreal. That's a good size calf. That's a perfect size calf. Not too big, not too small. Mama's doing good, I think. We'll get around here. Maybe you guys can see its face a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. White spot right on the top of its head and on its nose. Got a pink nose. That calf's a little darker than the black heifer's calf. Awesome. Good job, Mama. I'm going to leave you alone and I'm going to run you some fresh water. So, guys, that's got our two heifers calved out. Thank the good Lord for that. That's a blessing. So, guys, something to notice. We're not going to try to move these heifers and their new babies with the rest of the herd. If they would have been up there at the gate ready and willing to go, we'd have moved them. But, guys, since they're not, we're just going to leave them right here. and they are going to be fine. That actually works out good. They're going to be on fresh city water, and right here in the field next to the barn lot, where we can keep a good eye on them. They can't get away from us. So that'll work out great. So we'll just leave these babies and their mamas right here for the next few days, and when they get up and they're good enough to go, they'll tell us. So there's an important lesson, guys. If you got cows with new calves, don't force them. Don't force them. Just leave them back there. They won't go nowhere. Leave them back there. If you try to force them, you run the chance of separating mama and baby, and that's the worst thing that could happen. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but there's a lot of flies I just walked through. So that's a good thing about rotational grazing, is when you move, you leave that fly population behind. Look at that baby. God, I mean, pretty. That calf right there is red. And I think the new calf that we just left, I think she will lighten up. She would have to, because mama's light colored. So daddy was a Hereford, and the daddy to both of these calves is the same one. And go back in our archives and look. We've got the video. It's the last Hereford bull that we had on the farm from Papaw's farm. So we've got heifers that we've kept back from Penny Pincher Genetics, and we've got the bull was from Morgan Genetics. So it's all the way around. These is homegrown calves. Look at him stand up right here, little bull calf. Beautiful, perfection. And I'm looking at mama's udders there. As you can see, it looked like her udders was. This is a bad example, but it's the first thing that hit my mind. It looks like they're riding a wheelie. You'll see there which means that baby is sucking out of the front two tits instead of the back. So she'll get to the back. They'll get to the back eventually. But guys, I tell you what, that right there is pretty. If I could draw them up, that's exactly how I'd draw them, every single one. A black white face mama and a red white face baby. That's my preference. That's my preference, 100%. But guys, like I said, we're going to leave them here. That'll work good. We'll leave this pair with the newest pair, the newest mama and baby. We'll leave them two pairs here behind. That way they can keep company. Cows, they prefer to be in herds. They're a herd animal. So that'll just work out perfect. That'll work out really well. Go up here and look at the rest of the herd that we've just moved over into a new paddock. Me and Dad set her. I don't know why I'm still whispering, guys. I apologize for that. Me and Dad set up a couple paddocks already. That way we're set for the week. We don't have to do nothing. So we're good to go. I'm gonna put this gap back up so mama, look here, this little baby. He's a feeling good, guys. When you see them wagging that little tail, you know they're feeling good. You know they're feeling good when they're doing that, so good. Uh-oh, they're hollering at me. They're hollering at me, so my apologies, guys. But guys, this is Penny Pincher Farm. We're going to end this video. You guys like, subscribe, comment, all the above. We're going to let the grass grow and give God all the glory.